They have to give you a cane. They have to give you a cane.
There, it's 7:10.
I
I'll read
think
the
it's,
motion.
hang on, I
Therefore,
think
be-
it's,
Therefore, be it resolved that council adjourn the meeting to enter into a dangerous animal hearing for a female Belgian Malinois dog named Tina at 7:10 p.m. Okay, can I have a motion? Councillor Maxwell, moves, Councillor Droheim. Anybody got any questions? All in favor? Carried. That one in the public hearing. And now, Mr. Reader, where are you?
Good evening.
Good evening, Councillor Reader, or Councillor Reader.
This incident came to me through the military police, that on the 20th of, let's see here. I believe it was the 20th of June, that there was a report to their office of a danger or an animal attack and a bite. The injuries were minor, however, the dog, there was a formation of military members on PT. They were running. Dog approached one of them, wound up biting him on the wrist. That time, they did get a picture of the female who was with the dog. When asked for her name, she gave a name. Excuse me, but she says, "Eat a dick." Military police told me that the registered owner of the car didn't reside in Shiloh, so we didn't do much right away. I wound up doing some checking a while later, about 3 to 4 weeks later, and I realized that I'd dealt with this female before on base. Originally, I thought it was only 3 previous dog attacks and bites. However, it actually was 4. So when I went back through my files, on the 15th of March 2020, received a complaint of a brown shepherd type dog running at large and running at her and attacked the dog on their property. I did attend to the residence because I was given the residence as number 10 Stonehenge. I attended, there was nobody there, but I did leave a business card, no call back. 10th of July 2020, contacted by Wendy Peterson, our animal control officer. She was reporting that on the 1st of July, at about 7 o'clock in the evening, the victim was bringing her dog into the Shiloh dog park, at which time a brown German shepherd type dog named Tina attacked her dog. She tried to intervene, was bitten herself by this dog. So they told me that the owner of the dog was a Theo Zit. 31st of December 2020, received another dog bite complaint. Some people were walking down Stonehead Road with a child. A couple walking their dog, wound up lunging at their dog, growling his teeth and everything else. Then they did confirm that the dog absolutely lived at number 10 Stonehenge. I did attend 9th of January 2021, and which time I was told, no, the dog wasn't there, and denied the incident and everything else, but the victim was adamant that that was the address. Fast forward to the 11th of May 2022, received a complaint of a dog running at large and a dog bite. So wound up, the woman left a very detailed message and said that she went to talk to this woman, and she gave him colorful language. Like she said, put your dog in a leash. And this woman replied in colorful language, you put your ass in a leash. So then I phoned her, she reiterated everything she said. So on the 2nd of June, myself and Constable Thiessen attended to the residence. Again, there was a denial that the attack took place. I basically told Ms. Ham that it did take place. I know it did. And at that time, I issued 2 bylaw infraction notices. One was for not having a dog license. The second was for allowing a dog to run large and white. And the copy of the bylaw infraction notice I gave was highlighted. I made the note. Note numerous complaints about suspect dog. Another complaint will result in the dog being seized and a dangerous animal hearing being held. So that was the last I heard of it until this year in June with this dog attack. The victim is here. He'll explain what happened. I did receive a statement from the military police about what had happened, and so then we attended, myself and Miss Michelle Whitaker, one of our animal control officers. We attended to the residence, and in order to apprehend the dog. The Miss Ham was somewhat upset about it. However, we advised that that was part of the bylaw, we were going to impound it. And she invited Miss Whitaker and her assistant into the house. Myself and 2 military police officers stayed back. Miss Ham came out of the house to get a muzzle for the dog, at which time she stated to me she hates men. So myself and the MPs backed off even more. Miss Whitaker brought the dog out. The dog was trying to get her muzzle off, very aggressively trying to get it off, but was able to be loaded into the vehicle and transported to the bound for an assessment. Miss Whitaker is here. She did a complete assessment. There was a detailed report given by her. So rather than me read her report, I'm going to let her explain her report. So this is the 5th time this dog was attacked or bitten. It's either been other animals or humans or both. So it's, in my opinion, that the dog, this dangerous animal hearing should be held. And it's unfortunate Ms. Ann, after she settles down, is not too bad. Some of the times we dealt with her, her spouse had to more or less pull her away and deal with it because she was getting too agitated. I believe that she minimizes a lot that happens, just from my observations, and she deflects. There's a comment that saying that's the victim's fault because he should have ran faster. And I don't know too many people that can outrun a Belgian Malinois at the best of times. So basically that would be my submission. I know that I did serve her with the appropriate notice. Ms. Ham and Mr. Zip are here. So subject to any of your questions.
So this is the date that you said was 21 started?
Well, it started in 2020.
20. Oh.
2020, yeah. There was 3 in 2020, and then one in 2022.
Mr. Reeve, there's been several accounts of testimony. I'm just wondering if there's any witnesses to any of that, other than the statements that were given to the police.
For the victim itself?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's here now. He will be up here to.
For the other cases that you've.
Oh,
said.
no. The other cases we were dealing with several years ago, people posted in and out, so we wouldn't have them. These are just the dealings that I had, personally I had with the family.
Does that answer your question, Cal? So, good, thanks, Darlene. Great explanation. Okay. So now we'll have representation from the animal control officer. Yeah, come on up.
Okay, so
Can you please state your name and?
Michelle Whitaker.
Yeah,
Animal
Michelle.
control.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll record it.
Of course,
Great, thanks so much.
you're welcome.
Go
So
ahead.
this is my first involvement with Tina. I was not involved in the first 4 incidents. Although we picked up Tina on, I believe it was the 20th of August. A concern I would have right off the bat was upon arrival, of course, we were catching everybody off guard at that point, and Miss Ham didn't know we were coming, obviously, and she was quite upset. Speaking to the day of the incident itself and picking up the dog, my grave concern came right away when Miss Ham told me that her dog has never hurt anyone and that she's a personal protection dog. We now have 5 accounts of this dog having hurt somebody. And any owner, in my opinion, that cannot acknowledge that their animal has injured somebody is not showing due course or concern for public safety. After assessing Tina on site, we had her in kennel for 10 days. We did 2 assessments. The first assessment on day 4, we could not complete because you couldn't even put a hand on the dog. The first 4 days she was there, she was lunging at the kennels, trying to attack or bite anybody that came near. Day 9, we did our second assessment, and we were able to get a little further with her. But once again, she shows herself to be a highly anxious dog, and she has a very low bite inhibition. And what that means is that she, in any moments of stress, she turns to her teeth to solve the problem. In Belgian Malinois, that is quite common. They are a beautiful breed of dog, but they are obviously used for police work for many reasons. Now, even muzzled, Tina was able to lay a nip on me on our way back to the shelter. So the muzzle that they're using is inappropriate and not suitable, would have to be changed. A dog like this, unfortunately, with owners who refuse to accept that their dog has caused injury, leaves me to believe that they will continue to allow this dog freedoms that will continue to be an issue for public safety. There are many, like telling people to run faster is inappropriate and irresponsible. Her, as an owner whose dog has bit or attacked on other occasions, should have had the mindset to keep her dog further back from the soldiers and not expect the soldiers to stay away from her. My biggest concern right now, the dog can be handled under strict management. There are ways that this can be done with muzzles and responsibility, with proper fencing and ensuring that the dog is never allowed to run loose again. I fear that the owners are not taking this serious enough. And given the size of this dog, she could cause serious harm to someone should she choose to. I do not believe she will hesitate to bite. Okay. I don't normally like to say those things, but she is definitely a very anxious animal. She could be suffering from medical conditions that they should have had assessed by a veterinarian, if nothing else. But at this point, I would consider her definitely a dangerous dog, especially in the hands of the current owners.
Thank you. Does anybody?
Yes. How big exactly is this?
Belgian Malinois, it's the size of a German Shepherd. She'd probably weigh approximately 70 pounds. 26 inches at the shoulder roughly. Her shoulders would be about yay high. If you think of the dogs that you see on television with the police, that is what you'll see 90% of the time is Belgian Malinois. They are incredibly fast, and they do have a low bite inhibition. Properly trained, they do not bite without cause or without command. That was the other comment that Ms. Ham had made, is that her dog is a personal protection dog. I corrected her immediately, telling her that personal protection dogs don't attack when they choose to. Personal protection dogs attack when they're told to. They are highly trained dogs. This is not a trained animal.
Mr. Chairperson, are there any type of obedience and training services in the Brandon area? I know this is our second dangerous dog hearing since coming on the council. I just want to know if there's any obedience and training services in Brandon or area for dangerous dogs and their owners.
There is. I highly recommend Kyle for Grasslands Canine Development Center. I've recommended him in the past. He does extensive work with bully breeds and with dangerous dogs as well. He is also the one that I recommended for the last one we were here on.
That's right.
He's probably one of the only that I would recommend in this situation. And honestly, if the dog is going to be released, it should be under all of the restrictions that are possible, along with a mandated training.
Okay, thank you. Good, thank you. Anybody else? Yep. Okay, thank you. Yep. Okay. 4.1.2, the victim. Can we have the victim up here?
Good evening.
Good evening. Yep. Your name? That's so we can,
Dylan Carrier.
don't care. Nice having you here, Dylan.
Thank you.
Not under those circumstances though, but nice having you. Go ahead. Tell us.
So on the morning of June 20th at approximately 8:20, myself and approximately 9 personnel from my maintenance platoon were performing a unit run in the Spruce Grove area just adjacent of our base perimeter. The more athletic personnel, let's say 6 of them, were ahead of us by several lunges or several lengths rather. This was confirmed after the fact by Commander Sergeant was the first one that actually interacted with the owner of the dog, at which point the dog was leashed. The dog was secure on the trail, and he advised, hey, just heads up, there's more people coming, just be cognizant. Obviously, given my size and the recent knee surgery, I was with the other personnel that aren't as athletically inclined, to say the least. So let's say there's a lull of approximately 2 minutes between the groups. I was at the point of the second group, came up over the hill, at which point the owner was actually walking away from us on an adjacent trail off of the main path that we were utilizing. At this point, the dog was off leash. Admittedly, when I came up over that hill, I was at full pace, obviously somewhat imposing, retrospectively. The dog turned about, and working with Belgian Malinois in my career, I've had 2 deployments overseas where I've actually worked with working dogs for the U.S. military in Kuwait. The first thing I did was immediately slow down and try to establish a non-threatening demeanor. So just drop my hands down, go to a walking pace. At this point, I'm approximately maybe 5 meters from the dog. I snuck up over a hill right there. The dog turned around. I attempted to just say, I believe it was, hey puppy, in a nice calming voice. Unfortunately, the dog had already made its approach and began to lunge. I was fortunate enough to swat it off before it could manage to get any traction. And then the owner recalled the dog immediately after the incident. At that point, I did make some less than professional gestures and comments, obviously escalating the situation, but I chose to back off and get away from the animal as at this time she was attempting to secure it. 15 to 20 minutes or so later, while our unit was performing a post-workout cool down in the parking area at the main intersection by the tracks, the owner pulled up in her vehicle, approached us. We had a conversation. I had 2 witnesses with me. Their statements were also provided to the MPs. At which point she provided her name as per my request, admitted me with my lack of interaction and such. The name given was Adelie Dix. Unfortunately, I misinterpreted it, as did the other personnel there. We all kind of jumped to the conclusion, oh, she's blowing us off. At which point I took the pictures of the owner as well as the license plate just for verification. Shortly thereafter, I went and submitted my report to the MP detachment across the road. Full statements, including those of the witnesses that saw the incident occur, as well as the people that were part of the conversation, gave the name. Unfortunately, we joked about it, not giving it much mind. During that statement, I did make it clear that, yes, I understood that this was a young dog. This dog being its size, like the working dogs I interacted with were, I'd say, easily 30 or 40% larger, plus you can tell the years. My family does have some background with training animals. My father used to train security dogs in Montreal when I was a baby. So that being said, I identified this was a young dog. I know that Belgian Malinois are high speed, high energy, extremely proficient guard animals, and I understand that they are one of the most difficult breeds to train. And I advised the MP officer, Corporal Gonzalez, at the time that I would recommend remedial training or limitations. However, I did not want to see this animal harmed. I did not believe that euthanasia was required for this animal, even given the incident. That was said at least 2 times during my statement in a recorded room. After the fact, I was advised by Corporal Gonzalez ongoing, just keeping me up to speed on the process that everything had been handed over to the local animal control and RCMP detachment. And then I was advised when the dog was actually taken into, was actually seized. After that, The owner actually reached out and contacted me. I agreed to meet up with them in a neutral location. We spent an hour conversing, at which point the owner had already vividly and thoroughly apologized for their actions, and they had already given me a very good breakdown of remedial training that they wanted to undergo for their animal. And I also apologize for my actions because I did threaten to destroy the animal myself if I was attacked. Again, given the statement, the interaction that occurred after the incident, the fact that I escalated did not help the situation, which also resulted in the misinterpretation of names and the police report itself. I will admit my own faults in what happened. Like I said, gross misconduct, unprofessional demeanor, and unfortunately, I feel as though it's escalated to a point, personally, given my own individual interaction, is a bit excessive. I do not feel that termination of this animal is required. However, I would strongly recommend remedial training.
Thank you, Mr. Carey.
Yeah, I have a question
Yep,
for
go
the
ahead.
witness. I'm not familiar of the area Spruce Grove where you were
Or I
running.
apologize, Spruce Woods.
Oh, Spruce Woods.
I was posted just north of Edmonton. There's a community called Spruce Grove there. I think so.
So you guys were running, were you running on the PMQs?
No, you were running on the dirt track in the Spruce Woods trail just across the railway from where our MIR is located.
Okay,
There's an opening in the gate. We were just in there.
gotcha.
Okay. Anybody else got a question for Mr. Carey? So can you just repeat what you just said at the end? You do not recommend what?
At this time, given the circumstances, the age of the animal, the interaction, especially given the circumstances of how I approached the animal, which was blindsiding the animal, blindsiding the owner in extreme close proximity, given my demeanor, speed, all that such, I would not recommend that the animal be euthanized immediately, but however, I would strongly recommend remedial training.
Thank you, Mr. Carey. Okay, thank you. Now, can I have the representatives from the dog owner?
There's another chair there, Eddie.
Thanks, Ed. Any votes? There's your opportunity.
Well, my name's Theodore Zip.
Yep.
I've lived in Shiloh since 2009. And I just want to open with the implication that I do not care about safety, about other people, that I don't take any responsibility for any attacks my dog may or may not have done is very insulting. I take it very seriously. I disagree with some of the wording of the complaints, and I feel any feelings of apathy I have towards my dog's actions are just more from the way that the complaints have been presented. When Officer Drader first came to our house, he told us the first incident occurred in 2018, a year before our dog was born. This was not the first time he had brought up an incident in 2018. As well, he also said there was an incident in 2019. It wasn't until after we pointed out the errors in date. I came by the RM office when my dog was first taken. We weren't given a notice of impoundment as per your own bylaw, which is not the issue here, but yeah. Officer Drader, I feel the way that it was just the way that it was presented, I had issues with this, how the complaints are potentially vetted.
I like Dick Ham, sorry. And I didn't, so I eat a dick thing, but that's not who I am. I didn't say those words. Sorry. Yes, so it's just been awful. I am in fact very horrified by the fact that one of the complaints was that my dog bit a child. My youngest was 8 when we got her, so I have video and picture proof of her not being there that day. that the,
For what?
for one of the complaints, like for biting kids. We weren't there. I was in Winkler with my kids and my family for the holidays. I have video proof. I was never asked by Drader for anything. He just came and he told me. And I tried to say, of course I'm emotional. I'm a mom. As if I'd let an animal bite a dog or bite a kid. Or just... No, it's been very hurtful. And I take this very seriously. She's our dog. We love her. My kids love her. She's not a bad dog. It's a lot of the things have been overblown, and I take full responsibility for anything and everything. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Does anybody have any questions for the dog owners? Counselor?
I guess I would ask about the ones that are documented. How many times has the dog bit?
Well, that was our contention. So out of all of the incidents Officer Drader refers to, the one that occurred in 2022, while I was away, that one did occur. There was an incident involving someone. There was a lot of emotions involved in that incident as well. I feel that the person who made the complaint, their argument was given a lot more weight than our argument. Officer Drader came by after the fact, and it was a very pointed conversation. It has always been our interactions with them. There's no asking for an explanation. It's just you people, or your dog did this. You are responsible for this. And then he'll offer dates before our dog was even born to kind of add weight to what he's saying. But that being said, like I said, the incident that occurred in 2022, when he gave us our final warning that this hearing would occur, I took that very seriously. Our dog has been and is under serious restrictions. We do not let it run at large. I have never considered my dog to be a personal protection dog. That is ridiculous. I feel perhaps in the moment, while my wife was emotional, she said things that were perhaps just said in the moment and not to be taken as 100% fact.
And yeah, and the one incident in 2022 that did occur, there was no injuries to the other dog at all whatsoever. My dog was on a leash on my yard, on the yard leaded, and apparently that's considered running at large. I did not know that. In Shiloh, that is considered running at large. I had no idea that this was a rule. And what had happened was the woman walked by. I had been hanging up a Jewish prayer tablet that I'd been gifted to by my friends. And she had, I guess, let her dog, she'd taken her dog for a walk, let her dog meet our dog. I wasn't asked, can my dog meet your dog? And my back was to them, and then all I heard was, get your stupid Jew dog inside. And my neighbors came outside after that, and and I offered him my neighbors as corroborating witnesses, and he never asked any of them. He just came and said, this is what happened. And there was a hate crime complaint filed with MPs against this woman. And so I'm assuming she called Darwin to, I don't know what.
Also, since 2022, since speaking to any insecurity my dog's been feeling, in December of 2023, while we were in Saskatchewan, Tina actually broke her leg on our farm in Saskatchewan. And then a month later, I suffered a spiral fracture of my ankle and my left tibia and my fibia. So I think a lot of the structures that she had from myself, being the one who's consistently just walking and just working her, I was suddenly unable to do that. I'm still dealing with repercussions with my ankle. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, folks. Yeah, appreciate it. Now, we'll give Constable Grader an opportunity for any response. Do you have any as part of the process?
Well, not much other than the stuff that has already been said. I know that with the 2022 incident, they say it was, yes, it did occur because dog came out of the yard, woman walking her dog on a leash, dog came out, went back in the yard, came back and bit the dog on the muzzle. So, and apparently according to the victim, she said that the owner was standing there watching and did absolutely nothing. The other incidents, they were saying that, they weren't properly vetted, but the thing is, they were, you talk to people. And if it were the same person making all the complaints, then I would have to be checking into the complainant, wondering what's going on. But these are 4 separate complainants and positively identifying where the dog come from during the incidents.
If I could just add something to this. While I'd like to just mention that Mr. Ziff was not present when we did seize the dog, it was just Ms. Ham. And I have body cam footage of her statements of the dog having never injured anybody and it being a personal protection dog. So there is body cam footage of the entire seizure if required.
Thanks, Michelle.
Well,
Can I just speak to that?
Uh,
Make a little statement, if that's possible?
Yeah.
I don't, I said that, never mind. Sorry.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Michelle, can you come just for 1 second? I've never met Kyle. Now, does anybody have a question for Michelle? Kyle, the trainer in Brandon, I understand, that's an understanding, he's an exceptional trainer.
He is, he owns actually and operates restaurants in Canada.
Yeah. In your opinion, you gave us your assessment. Given the experience Kyle has, is there potential opportunity that dog, under Kyle's training ability,
I think
can
there's
be restored?
potential for any dog
Yeah.
under Kyle's training. The variable is going to be the handler.
Yeah.
If the handler is willing to accept and take the training and put it to good use, then the dog will benefit from that for certain.
Anybody else? I got another question, but I'll let other counselors. It's open for question. This is a serious decision this
It
council
is.
has to make.
It is a very
Not a
serious.
comfortable decision because
Well,
I'm a dog
I
lover.
don't want any dog
Yeah.
euthanized either. That's not my role. My
Like-
concern is just for.
And if council, whatever decision needs to be made with some conditions,
Mhm.
if that opportunity would be given by council for Kyle to have an opportunity to train this dog, would he make an assessment? How does that process work?
Kyle is pretty open and honest. I don't think he would have any issue with giving recommendations. That would be something you would have to query him, but I'm quite certain he would be happy to give an opinion after a period of time of
Yeah.
training with the owners and the handler on the dog.
Like in progress,
Yeah,
to
progress
see if
report.
there's improvements.
Yeah, and I'm sure, like I said, Belgian Malinois are not stupid animals, they're highly intelligent. And I'm quite positive that she'd respond to training, she definitely needs it.
Yeah.
And I think that they're being trained how to handle her properly would definitely be a huge benefit. Definitely needs to be under restrictions going home.
Yeah.
A new muzzle, the one that they're using is a groomer's muzzle, and they need to be using a bite-proof basket muzzle. Because as I said, the dog was still able to lay a bite on me with the muzzle on, so.
Sorry, you mentioned Kyle in Brandon,
Mhm.
but there was some discussion of these folks leaving and not staying here. I don't know if are you going to be, you are leaving? So Yeah, that's why I
Yeah.
didn't want to say Kyle
Yeah.
specifically,
Yeah.
but
Right.
there would be another place that would
Yeah,
offer that service for
There
sure.
are places you're going to need, somebody who is able to handle and make sure that you're dealing with somebody who can deal with aggressive dogs and is willing to work with that. Not all trainers will, but, I'm sure depending on where they go, I'm
Yeah.
sure the trainers are found everywhere, so.
Okay, thanks, Michelle. Okay, I'll leave it open. Does anybody have any more questions or need clarification? Nope. If there's none, I'll call, be it resolved that the public hearing be closed at,
Yeah, just one sec, sorry.
I'm sorry,
We are moved, but we're leaving the province. I was supposed to be gone actually tomorrow. My report for duty date, my change of strength date, I'm posted to Alberta. I'm also in the military. Was actually supposed to be yesterday, but because of my broken leg, it was pushed to the right by 30 days. So I'm actually in the process of moving. We are gone very, very soon. So that being, yeah.
okay, thanks for the heads up.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Be it resolved that the public hearing be closed at 7:46 PM and return to the meeting. Can I have a mover? Counselor Ross, Counselor Brown seconds it. Any questions? Call for the question. All in favor? Okay, carried. Okay. Now, 4.3. Yep. Now, Teresa Campbell. Good evening.
Good evening, I'm Teresa Campbell.
Yeah.
So I'm here in regards to this TCIP development. I would just like to circulate those pictures that I'm going to speak to in my report here. So good evening, my name is Teresa Campbell and I reside at Northwest 321019, directly to the east of the TCIP development. Those pictures are all different too. I agonize once again over having to come to council so that my voice is heard. I would like to bring some of my concerns to your attention. This project has now been almost 10 years in the works, with the Municipal Board of Manitoba granting approval June 27, 2016. At that time, it was stated that an agreement with Manitoba Infrastructure respecting access to PTH1.
Can I do this? Sorry,
Yeah.
Sorry?
Teresa, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just want to wait for those folks to leave. So,
Sorry, Teresa, it wasn't you, it was just,
Do I start
you know,
again? We're good. We're good?
Yep.
Okay, so at that time, it was stated that an agreement with Manitoba Infrastructure respecting access to PTH1 and inclusion of the appropriate mitigating measures at the development stage to deal with the residential property to the east. So that's us. Part of my presentation at that hearing requested the service road be completed before anything else, and a tree line and an appropriate fire break be established on the east side of the property. So as it stands today, these things have still not been completed when they should have been first. We saw tremendous traffic on our portion of the service road, with all vehicles using the old access route to the highway throughout all prior activities, road building, large equipment loading and unloading, the contractors building shanks, and also the contractors building the RTMs. The numerous trucks hauling material to and from the development destroyed our portion of the original service road. We asked for dust control when it got so bad one time, and the developer supplied a water truck twice. Somehow, a work permit was granted to build RTMs by Keystone Planning without considering the original conditions of the agreement. The newly built service road is in need of some work. It is still ridden with potholes and has a lot of washboard. If the RM assumes this road in its current condition, it will only be a matter of time before more work will be needed, especially with the volume of traffic and considering it's only produced by shanks at this time. There is only one exit for us if this road requires any work. The portion from 270 to Rusty Way was recently graded by, I assume, the developer, and within 2 weeks it was in bad shape again. I do not wish to travel on roads like this daily. What is it going to be like once more businesses and traffic use it? I asked for you to come and take a drive down the entire service road, and you'll see what I mean. And also, since the opening of Shanks, we are seeing a lot of traffic, not understanding the no exit signage. So I'm requesting a few different places for signage to go. Upon leaving Shanks on Rusty Way, there should be a dead end sign with an arrow to the west, as well as the same at Gray Road. I would like to see a no through road or no exit just prior to Gray Road being placed on the new service road, so that vehicles have a place to turn around rather than in our driveways. Or as many vehicles do, they proceed down our portion of the service road and are making their own trails to access the highway. Either they use the old approach or exit from the dead end sign at the eastern end of the service road, east of our neighbors, Dorothy and Murray. There should be a barricade placed at the old approach until it looks completely like a grass ditch. I recently saw a vehicle cross the highway and go through the ditch and head towards Shanks, so perhaps the dead end sign needs to be put on the highway there as well, instead of the one-way sign. We are also wondering what the speed limit should be on the new service road. At the newly created intersection, we have a stop sign heading west. However, the eastbound traffic coming off Marsden Road has a yield sign. Is this proper signage as the cross traffic coming off the highway has nothing? In the spring, there was an accident at the 270 intersection and RCMP closed the eastbound lanes to Brandon. Traffic was being rerouted to the service road with no regard for the current no exit sign. There were numerous vehicles and at least 6 semis heading east with nowhere to turn around. The old approach was removed December 12th, 2023, and now looks like a regular road again. If something is not done to deter the traffic using the old approach, there will be an accident at some point. And originally the berm was to be on the west of Gray Road, but I think for snow clearing reasons, it was moved to the east side, placing it directly at the edge of our property. If this is what the berm is going to be, perhaps it should be placed back on the other side of Gray Road. The berm is not what I expected it to look like. There is no way it could even be maintained. It is also so full of weeds, and I have never had so many weeds in my yard and pasture as I do this year, and we have owned the property since 1986. In the recent past, we were blamed for the berm's lack of completion due to an old fence line that was in place. We were not aware that it needed to be moved, but once we were notified, it was moved this spring. But still, nothing has been done to finish it. And are you aware that the old signage and materials that were used while building the service road are still lying adjacent in the ditch? If a snowmobile or quad should come into contact, they could be seriously hurt. I don't understand how the developer can continue to ask for things when they haven't completed the work as agreed upon in the original deal. I recall reading in past minutes that an extension was granted until September 2024. However, at this time, I couldn't find those notes in the minutes on their website. We are less than 2 weeks from that deadline, and there is still so much left uncompleted. The word and signatures of the developers must be upheld by council. My understanding is that the developer cannot sell any further lots until all conditions have been met. I strongly feel council needs to hold the developer to this. What happens if this service road still does not meet the requirements by winter? We were fairly fortunate with the amount of snow last year, and a plow is really not needed. But if it is this year, who will keep it clear? We should not be stranded due to lack of commitment. I truly believe, as the elected council, we as taxpayers count on council to keep projects like this on track. The entire development is still in need of a lot of things. So thank you for your time, and I really hope that council will take the time to review the original agreement so that you legitimately understand our restrictions and have the developer adhere to the original conditions and get this project up to date.
Thanks, Teresa.
Thank you.
Yeah. The council have a question.
So all those pictures I showed
Yeah.
are the berm traffic going through the ditch, the material still in the adjacent ditch. But yeah, that berm, it's, yeah, nowhere near what it should be.
You mind if we keep those
You can
photos,
keep these, yes,
Teresa,
yeah.
please? Give them to the CEO.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Okay,
So no other, no
Do you have
questions?
a copy
Yeah.
of that?
of my letter?
Yeah,
You can have
your
it.
presentation, yeah.
Mhm.
That'd be
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah.
okay.
Do you want me to sign it or anything? I didn't sign it.
Sure, if you wish.
That's it.
That's it. Teresa, I just want to make a comment. Appreciate you coming.
Okay.
We will be discussing TCIP in camera at the end of the meeting, so just to let you know, we're gonna have a discussion on
Thank you.
some conditions out there
Okay.
Yeah. that need to be met.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you very
just
much.
giving you a heads up. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Be it resolved that the verbal delegation information presented by council or to council by Teresa Campbell regarding the TCIP development be hereby received. Can I have a mover? Councilor Grohan? Councilor Brown? Any questions? Call for the question. All in favor? Carried.
I'll just add in there pictures and
Yeah,
written
submitted.
presentation as well.
yeah, good point there, Hon. Thank you. There. Good. Thank you. Okay. Okay. 4.4, Mr. Campbell, you're on. We're running a little bit late, so sorry about that.
that?
I say, we're running a little bit late here with the hearing, so
I
sorry.
think you're ahead, more ahead than you usually are. Easier to follow what I'm gonna say.
Go ahead.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, as you know, I'm here as a last ditch effort to try and settle this problem between the council and myself before I resort to legal action. That's a foregone conclusion. I'm bringing this in the premise that the RM owns the sewer utility. The CAO at the time was an employee of the RM. He didn't do his job properly, and it cost me a lot of money. Okay? Our first proposal when this one started to go was that the pumps and everything would have to go to the tank, which is under my deck, which means I would have to tear my deck apart. Later, they came up with a proposal that they could use an outside pump, but still leave the line in under my deck, which still meant I had to take apart my deck. Later, with consultation with engineers Burge Wendell, it was decided, as is shown in that first page, that we could run a connection from my existing line out to my field, which is in yellow, and run a connection to the new system, which is shown in blue. The second page shows where the connection would be, including a curb stop to my existing field, which would be shut off to make sure that there's no backflow from the existing field. Page 3 was, we got that in a meeting, an information meeting in August of 23. And in there, if you notice the highlighted section, it says that the lines have been installed to the vicinity of the existing tank or into the basement of the home, depending on existing configuration. This was the first official notification that we could have run that line directly into my house with directional drilling and brought it right up beside the pump. First official. And I'm saying this is August 23. Page 4 shows a document from Burns Mundell, which the CAO had much earlier in the year. I haven't got an official date from Burns Mundell, but I can get it if I need it. If you go down to the bottom where it's highlighted as my address, 24 Willow Street, you will notice that it is a type B connection. Down below, it said type B is a new LPS line to be drilled into the house, an existing pump to replace the one specified. This information was never, ever, until this meeting in August, known to the residents in Shaker. So we're now probably 6 months behind where we should have been because we weren't given the proper information. At that time, I made a decision to go straight into the house. There were 2 people in Shaker that did go directly into the house. Their costs were 0. Okay. The next page is a copy of the minutes from the kickoff meeting with Burns Mundell Water Services Board and the RM Cornwallis. If you'll again notice the highlighted sections, it says all communications to the RM directed to Donna. She will distribute accordingly with the RM. Donna was the CAO at the time. When she wasn't there anymore, anybody that took over as CAO would pick up that duty. So this is in 2021 that this memo or these meetings or these minutes were generated. The last page is a letter I dropped off here to Terry's attention. It was signed by the interim CAO in regards to a text that we had. We'd had an informal meeting, went through all of this stuff with Treeville, if I remember right. And at that time, it was decided that no, I wasn't going to get any of my reimbursements back, any of my money back. My cost to date to do this is close to $5,000 that I didn't have to spend if I would have had the information in line, in time. As I said, we spent $5,000 that, in my mind, I didn't have to spend if I would have had the proper information. The 2 people who did connect directly to the basements, I'm not too sure how they did find out about it, but they did. And their costs were absolutely 0. Now, at the time, like I said, I would like to finalize this between us now. I do not want to go to legal action, but I have been told by somebody very close to the legal system that this case is very well upstanding and there's a good chance. And he also added that at the time, I would be able to apply on top of the costs that I've incurred, a $2,500 charge for undue stress and financial problems. And I'll tell you guys right now, that's the way I'll have to go. If we can't do it. I don't want this to be a public issue. I don't want it going into a public record. I want to keep it between the RM and me. But that is going to be your decision. And at the same time, I will add that there is another resident in Chater in exactly the same position. Rick Wainwright did exactly the same thing I did. He incurred a bunch of costs, but he didn't have to incur. So I feel justified in asking for a reimbursement of that money. And I would like to thank you for giving me one more chance.
That's fine. Any
And I haven't got a copy of my presentation because it's all off the cuff.
Any
Gentlemen,
councilman?
any questions? Comments? I will, hey?
So we'll take it into consideration.
Okay. I'll leave you one little more package. There are copies. I've only got one copy of this, so you'll probably have to handle it and end it up somewhere. You can make it as you want. I know for a fact that reimbursements because of mistakes have been made before. I have a copy of an invoice to a gentleman in the south part of the municipality, Ed Fardo, where the municipality reimbursed him for damage to his property. The only thing I could not find was anything in council minutes where it was approved by council. My information that I have is that it was paid out direct without council approval, directly between the Reeve at the time and a council member, and paid out directly without council approval. So it is not an unprecedented thing to ask for.
I will clarify that, Mr. Campbell.
Okay.
It was a tailgate meeting, is my understanding, how that happened. He was promised a reimbursement for any crop damage.
Right.
That lingered on through the Lake Clemente thing, and council did pass a resolution many months after to reimburse Mr. Fardill. So there was a resolution by council after the fact. After the fact.
After he'd been issued.
But he was, my understanding is, I wasn't at that tailgate meeting, he was promised by members of council of the day, he will get reimbursed. So he pushed
Well,
and requested and it
the
was
only
done.
reason I'm bringing it up,
Yeah.
sir, is that there is a precedent for this type of reimbursement.
Yeah.
The CAO at the time was a joke, in my opinion.
He won?
He was a joke,
Oh, no.
in my opinion. My dealings with him, I wouldn't trust him to train his dog.
We will discuss it as a council, right? And we will get back to you.
I know, as you know, Sam, I'm in Winnipeg for the next
Yeah.
6 weeks
Mhm.
because of health problems with my wife.
Yeah.
Email.
We'll catch up to you, and the CEO will get back to you, and I will make a comment here. I was at all the meetings except one of the minutes. I'm not gonna hide anything. It's public information. The CAO was begged on numerous occasions to get that information out there. He refused. He didn't do it.
I
So,
know.
council,
As
I'll
I
make
said,
it clear to council
he
the
is-
mistakes that this municipality made.
He was an employee of the municipality.
Yeah, he was.
Which makes the municipality responsible
Yeah.
for his error.
And I was criticized for it, for asking him to ship it, to send that package out to the people. I was criticized for calling that information meeting.
I know.
Yeah, but anyways, I don't want to get into a debate.
No.
We will get back to you in writing from the CEO.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Ron. Okay. Be it resolved that the delegation information presented to council by Rod Campbell be hereby received along with his submission.
I'll make that.
Yeah,
motion.
Councillor Ross moves it. Councillor Maxwell seconds it. Any questions? All in favor? Carried. Okay. Okay. Reports of committees.
So I have put the dangerous dog decision
Yeah.
up here. It's going to be difficult for
Yeah.
me to move it
Yeah.
out of there, but let me know if you want me to. But we do have to make a decision
Yeah,
in
we
5
have-
days.
Yeah, we have to make a decision. Does council feel comfortable now dealing with that dog decision? I mean, it's up to council. Or do you want to have a discussion? Do we have to make it tonight?
No, but we have
There's a lot.
5 days, so.
Yeah, we got 5 days. I'll leave that up to council. I mean, there's 2 resolutions there, so whoever's going to be the mover can indicate which one you want me to read there.
And you have to give, 2 days for a special meeting?
Yeah.
So not a lot of room.
I'm comfortable making that decision.
What's that?
I'm comfortable making the decision.
Okay, which resolution?
Second one.
Okay, just give me a second.
4.2.
What's that?
4.2.
4.2, yep, just give me too many buttons here. Okay. 4.2. Okay, so you want the second one there, Councilor, okay? So now therefore be it resolved that in consideration of the evidence presented at the hearing and of the criteria established for the determination of the incident, it is hereby ordered that the subject animals known as Tina, brown female, Belgian Malaysia dog, be declared to be a dangerous animal, and it further ordered that council has decided to release the dangerous dog to its owner, and the owner shall. Dog must be muzzled at all times when outside the residence, including when walking to and from the residence to a kennel run and to and from your vehicle. Dog must be muzzled and placed on a leash that is no longer than 6 feet, and the leash must be constructed off a chain or material that cannot be easily broken or snapped. Dog must be supervised at all times when outdoors and in the kennel. Owner the dog to enroll in training from a certified trainer to follow through on correcting or at least controlling behavior. That the animal be reassessed in a 6-month period by a veterinarian to determine if the declaration of dangerous animal should remain. So Councillor Ross moves it. Can I have a seconder? Councillor Drohan. Any questions? Any comments?
I just want to make a comment that in some of the presentations that were there, there was no corroborating evidence from any of the previous witnesses that some of those incidents did occur. I'm not saying that they didn't occur, but in most of the cases, the biting occurred when the animal was off the leash and not muzzled. So I think with those restrictions in place and the training, unfortunately, they're moving, so they're going to have to get the training in their new municipality, wherever they move to.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, if the dog is properly trained and properly controlled and safeguards are taken, I think the animal will learn and won't be a risk to anybody else.
Good points, Councillor Ross. Something.
Yeah, I myself was looking for a more straightforward answer when I asked, did it actually happen? But we have a responsibility as public, okay, because it could be a kid next time. So we muddied up the water a lot by declaring it a dangerous dog and then having it leave the province. So I tried to scan through the bylaw, and they have to advise us if something happens to the dog, or if they sell the dog, but it doesn't really say anything, I didn't find anything that if they leave, that dangerous dog designation goes along. Is that how it works?
So it's our dangerous dog designation, right? So we only can tell wherever they're going, the municipality, or if it,
Responsible to do that.
we would do that. Yes, we would do that. I could add in this, that we give them that information.
I think you should
Then-
be making sure we pass that information on wherever it's going.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because I like dogs too, but I've been bit, so I understand how people feel from the other side. I gotta tell you that the victim making the statement that he felt that there was some mitigating circumstances and he somewhat was at fault, maybe that's tempered my thoughts, but I still think that they have to be responsible, and we have to be as well, to make sure that information goes forward. So I will support it as long as we do that.
So that's a friendly amendment?
No, I think we were going to do it anyway, but it sounds
I was going to do it
Okay.
anyways, but I could add it. Can I just say, while I'm adding this, do you want to also put the bite-proof muzzle?
Yes.
And also the certified trainer to control, and I would put aggressive behavior, because that's two things that the dog owners said. So if that's okay.
I'm fine with that.
And what do you call it? Where they, like station, or where the
Posting.
posting? What kind of posting? Like a army posting? Is that what I say? What do I call it? Army posting?
What's it called these days, Kim? This posting, what's it called now?
What's that posting? Oh,
Yeah,
they're just posted.
just posting.
And,
So he's posted to Alberta.
okay. Oh, okay.
Mr. Chairman, you should be able to approach the base and find out the right address and unit where it's posted to.
Next base. Okay.
It's not a single case. Either do the RCMP or the base was such. Not the RCMP or the base was such.
Just a suggestion here. Do we want confirmation that he will get enrolled in to get certified? Like the RM of Cornwallis get confirmation that would relieve Councillor Maxwell's concern about.
Does he have
we are
any
responsible.
legal responsibility to confirm with us, though, once he's out of our municipality?
Well, right. I
Well, it
mean,
addresses some of Councillor Maxwell's concern. Yeah, we're deeming it dangerous and we're allowing it to post with very few conditions. So just something I was thinking here, how will we know that dog will get enrolled in the training program by a professional trainer? Just a comment. That's okay.
all we really can do is provide it to the next municipality
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
or posting.
So you've
Yeah.
got the friendly amendment, you second it, right? Okay, you're okay with it?
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else has anything? Call for the question, all in favor? Carried. Okay, so now, number 5. Is there any reports? Anybody have a meeting,
Do you want to talk about your
municipal?
your board?
I'll just give a the audience is here. The municipal hearing that was 2 weeks ago, yesterday, or tomorrow, at the Discovery Center. That was in regards to the Shoots rezoning bylaw. And it took longer than I thought. I'm not a hearing expert, but the board had a lot of good questions. And that's something I would thought, I know we can't all go, but it would have been nice if council members could have been there. I'm a firm believer when you go through a subdivision or a rezoning, I think it's high time. I know I got criticized for spending money on engineers or legal counsel and planners. There's a prime example. If we would have reached out, we could have saved all that hassle. Municipality, we owned up to it. We made mistakes. We, at the end of the day, put on an argument. I think I was on the stand for about 4 to 5 hours. Asked a lot of questions by the board. Where we made a mistake, we didn't pursue, even though the emails went out, to take that to go for the second hearing. Our CEO at the time failed. I asked for a special meeting. He failed to book it. And we made some errors. I owned up to it, but put on a good argument there by the municipal lawyer. The challenge for the board will be, like our argument, it's not confidential information. We wanted a 5-acre parcel, RR5, being taken down to RR2. The problem, or the challenge is for the board to make that decision.
Okay.
Adjacent to that property is an RR80. On one side, you got an RR10. On the other side, you got an RR5. So here's an RR2 plunked right in the middle. That's what opened up that can of worms. And I think if we, as a council, we had the public hearing, we did everything right, we heard the objections. If council remembers, that's the meeting I had in the hallway with you, not a secret meeting. I advised council that day what and what not to do, because it's a public hearing. We got representations from the public, and that's where we didn't move forward. And if we would have gone and just sought legal advice, we could have saved all that money. It's going to cost us big money, but I think it's a wake-up call for this council. Any public hearing, we should really look at the act, what it says. It's a hearing. We need to listen. I'll call a special meeting 2 days later or whatever time we need, because that would resolve a lot of the issues. Yeah, so it was a very, what I call a good hearing, good representation from both sides, and we'll see how it happens. If the board does allow it to happen because it's not properly designed, that's gonna be a real nightmare out there. No roadways and nothing. Right out of the chute, that should have been engineered, but it's water under the bridge. But I just thought I'd give council a heads up. We should know within 60 days. The board, the act says they have to provide the participants in 60 days of the room. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. And I want to thank Holly. She put a lot of effort into putting that documentation together for Greg Trimley and myself. Put countless hours in. Holly, I thank you for, went right back to the subdivision to 2001, I believe. She found information, so it started back then. But anyways, I want to thank the CEO for putting all that documentation together. Yeah. So there's my report for the public hearing. Yep. And also in a report, it's not secret, I just sent everybody an email in regards to the hockey arena. I would recommend you folks read it. There's something coming on with the hockey arena. I just sent it to you just before the meeting. Yeah, we don't need to make a decision, but it's something that they want to start a process that we're going to get involved with. Yeah. So the email is very clear. So I'm just giving you a heads up. Yeah. Okay, there's
Other than that,
what's that?
Keystone Planning District, where the meeting for it.
Oh, do you want to? Yeah, go right ahead. Yeah, I'll let Shane,
We started,
Rohan, Keystone Planning.
we started helping out sewers as far as Keystone Planning going down there. And helping them with getting some of their stuff in order. And so far, the residents have had pretty positive feedback from what they said. The phone call has been pretty positive. There's more inquisitive and more questions about what to do and how to do it. It's mostly positive reaction to them coming to help them because their council doesn't want to get involved, which is understandable. That's what the planning district is for. So it's good that they're doing that. Other than that, I don't think there was a lot. There was some new developments, like new building permits issued, like quite a few of them, and they're keeping quite busy with that. But other than that, they're doing okay with the service thing.
So did Sarah's join?
We're just under an agreement to help them right now.
Oh, I see.
So we're not actually joining them. They're just helping them.
Yeah, their staff retired, so is that what happened?
Yes, one just got retired.
Is the decision to do that entirely the Keystone Planning Board? And it's not then going to come to the councils that make up the district?
Well, my
Well,
opinion,
later.
we as a council need to sit down and discuss it. I've got some concerns. There's some positives and there's definitely some concerns I've got. That needs to be ironed out because Keystone Planning, it's a challenge because there's no formal agreement between both parties. It's a resolution and here's Keystone Planning got birthed. I think as a council, we need to sit down with the CEO. I've had some preliminary discussions with the CEO. There's just some concerns that need to be asked or discussed before the board, that's Shane and myself, move forward and having somebody else join. Some pretty serious questions. I think we need legal advice, in my opinion. Yeah, so.
But there is plans to do that, right? To bring it to the municipalities that are currently part of it and say, do we want another member as part of us?
Eventually, yes.
Eventually.
Just right now, they're just helping under an agreement with Keystone Planning.
Okay.
Try and just kind of get them together so that they have somebody to go to inspect their stuff to make sure for safety. And because there's nobody there and they would be build whatever you want, which would create a real problem. So we're under an agreement just to help them kind of start that process. And later on, they'll decide if they want to join and the council will decide if they want them to join, et cetera.
I'm a firm believer in partnership. The more partners you have, you're stronger. But we got to do it right. We got to do what's right for
Yeah, that
the
would be,
for the
it would be a long
RF.
process.
Yeah.
So,
We got to, like I say, as a council and reach out to our community. Because we have 4,500 people out there. That's going to affect. It affected the last budget and it's going to affect it even more coming up. So, yeah, but that's a good question, Holly. I think we need to discuss it as a council at a committee meeting, what the pros and the cons of all that. I'm all for partnership, but it's got to be done right. Yeah, with some, just look at what Winnipeg is going through right now down there with 17 other municipalities.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's some municipalities that have concerns when they're bound to something that they, yeah, so just my comments. Okay. So is that it for anybody else? Okay,
Want a motion for that? Be it resolved that verbal reports of committees be received as presented?
yeah,
Well, second.
Council Maxwell, Council Ross, any questions? All in favor? Carried. Okay, no petitions, communications. Be it resolved that council accept the communication as presented. Councilor Drohan, Councilor Brown, any questions on some of the letters? I see our president from the AMM is not seeking re-election.
Shocking.
No, okay, if there's no questions, call for the question. All in favor? Yeah, carry. Okay. Be it resolved that payroll accounts be approved for payments as follows. Direct deposit payment of August 22nd, 2024 for $11,988.67. Direct deposit payroll of September the 5th, 2024, $11,948.28 for a total of $23,936.95. Can I have it?
I'll make that motion.
Councillor Ross, Councillor Grohan seconds it. Any questions? Okay, call for the question. All in favor? Councillor. Okay, be it resolved that council approve the list of accounts for expenses for checks numbered 12257 to 12290 for a total amount of $733,243.35. Can I have a mover? Councilor Maxwell and Councilor Drouin. Mover and seconder. Any questions? If you look at the checks, just a comment, a lot of that is gravel. Right? The gravel bills have all come in now, so that took up a good portion of the 733,000. Okay. I'll call for the question. All in favor? Yeah, carried. 8.3.
Excuse me.
Be it resolved that the unaudited financials for the month of August 2024 be accepted as presented. I have a mover.
I will make that motion.
Councillor Ross. Councillor Brown seconds it. Anybody have a question? No. Call for the question. All in favor? Carried. 8.4. Be it resolved that the August 2024 bank reconciliation for the general reserves and utility accounts be accepted as presented. I have a mover. Councillor Brown.
I'll second.
Councillor Ross. Any questions? All in favor? Carried. Bylaw. 9.1. Be it resolved that bylaw 172702-2024, being a bylaw to create a water tanker replacement reserve fund, be hereby read a second time as amended.
I'll make that motion.
Councillor Ross. Councillor Grohan seconds it. Any questions? All in favor? Carried. Okay. 9.11. Be it resolved that bylaw 172702-2024, being a bylaw to create a water tanker repair and replacement reserve fund, be hereby read a third and final time. Have a mover. Councillor Maxwell moves it. Councillor Brown seconds it. Any questions? All in favor? Carried. Okay. 9.1.2, be it resolved that the municipality enters into an agreement with the rural municipality of Elton and the city of Brandon for a cost-shared water tanker owned by Elton and Cornwallis municipalities to be used and managed by the city for fighting fires in the municipality. And further resolved that the chief administrative officer and the reeve be hereby authorized to sign the said agreement on behalf of the municipality.
I'll make that motion.
Councillor Ross, Councillor Maxwell, any questions? All in favor? Carried. Okay. Oh, boy, okay. 10.1. Long. Be it resolved that the council fully supports the following resolution from RM of Elton, which is to be brought to all AMM members at the fall convention. Whereas the Blue Hills area has experienced significant population growth and economic activity in recent years, leading to an increase in crime rates and public safety concerns. And whereas the current Royal Canadian Mounted Police detachment in the Blue Hills area, despite their commendable efforts, is increasingly stretched then and struggling to meet the demands of the expanding community. And whereas there has been a notable rise in property crimes, traffic violations, and domestic disturbances in the area. accelerated by the rural nature of the community, which presents unique challenges for law enforcement due to the vast geographic area that must be covered. And whereas the expansion of the Blue Hills Detachment's coverage to include an additional municipality will now strain RCMP resources, increasing the coverage area to over 2,200 square miles and adding over 3,000 residents to their responsibilities, thereby impeding response times and limiting proactive police efforts. Therefore, be it resolved that the Association of Manitoba Municipalities, the MM, strongly urges the province and the RCMP to increase the number of RCMP officers assigned to the Blue Hills area to ensure adequate law enforcement coverage and enhance public safety. And be it further resolved that the AMM calls upon the provincial government to provide the necessary resources and support to the RCMP to facilitate this increase in personnel, thereby ensuring that the growing population and geographic challenges of the Blue Hills area are extremely addressed. Have a mover. Councillor Brown, Councillor Rohan. Any questions? No questions? I'll call for the question. All in favor? That was a long one. I'm dry.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you still want to do a letter. I mean, that says it all.
Yeah, that,
Yeah, I'm,
it's
because
still
you,
going to the AMM, so
yeah. So,
I'm sure we'll get a lot of support there. That's almost at every AMM council. Huh? Okay. We're going to go to 10.2. Be it resolved that council approve the additional expense for flooring and painting to the entire office while the building front renovation and the water leak repair are being done. Further, that the estimated cost of $21,305 be borne by the infrastructure reserve. Can I have Councilor Rohan, seconder? Yep, Councilor Maxwell. Any questions?
Yeah, where's the leak?
Oh, it was underground in front
Oh,
of
that one, okay.
Yeah, so they had to
Gotcha.
line bore it to the edge of the building,
Okay, gotcha.
or drill it, I should say.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
There was
fixed.
there was an insurance claim, right? We got some money back.
Some.
Yeah. for
Some.
of it.
yeah, some, but yeah, certainly not enough. And that's why we were thinking about doing the flooring, because
Yep.
lots of the flooring was damaged from that leak. But does,
Not all of it was covered. Like,
oh yeah, no, definitely not all of it, just a portion of it. So, yeah.
The water leak was 9,000 or well, just under 10, so, yeah. Okay, no more questions. Call for the question. All in favor? Carry. Okay. Okay, whereas council previously approved SLI Towers Incorporated Communications Tower number T0WM104 off Marsden Road, and whereas SLI is responding to resident concerns and have proposed a new location just off Hunter Road along Highway number 1, 49.885616, 100,008,364, almost 1 kilometer from any nearby homes. Therefore, be it resolved that council hereby approves the relocation of SL Tower T0WM TOWM014. Can I have a mover? Councilor Rohan. Second by Councilor Brown. Yeah, anybody got any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. What's on this tower? Do you,
It's a communication tower, and I guess there was a lot of complaints from our neighboring municipality, was it?
Well, it says residents on Marsden Road, so.
So,
Yeah.
our neighbor,
we have
just
2
one.
residents on Marsden Road.
Yeah,
Well,
I
Silky
think
Way.
didn't I see something in there from the
Yep.
other RM that had issues? Anyway, they're just moving it down closer to the highway and away from people, so. But it is cellular communication.
You get better cell service out there.
That's what they're claiming.
No guarantee. Yeah. Any other questions? Call for the question. All in favor? Okay. Carry. Okay. Marsden Road repair. Okay. Whereas council approved the tri-wave quote for Marsden Road needed repairs this season and approved Burns Mandel Engineering to investigate, recommend, and prepare a final design for a long-term solution to the road. And whereas Burns Mandel currently completed hydrovac investigations, topographic survey, and partial thought to the final design, which directly affects the scope of tri-wave's work. The fast track these to assist the construction process and eliminate work being done twice. And whereas a meeting was held to review with Burns Mandel suggesting additional work. Therefore, be it resolved that council accepts the revised quote from Tri-Wave of $51,550.96 for additional work. The new quote of $125,815.80. The previous quote was $74,264.84. Further resolved that the costs be borne by the gas tax reserve. Can I have a motion? Councilor Rohan, seconded. Councilor Brown.
Second.
Yeah, is there any comments or Shane? Councilor? Yeah. Councilor Brown?
Well, got the work done quicker than anticipated.
Mhm.
Only makes sense to do it once
Yeah.
and not have to go back and do it twice.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we're gonna have to bear this cost
Yeah.
now, but I mean, at least we're not gonna have to spend it twice.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that is what's
That's
happening? This is it?
This is it.
Because I have heartburn about this, because
Yeah.
that road is a boundary road, and we are eligible, or we should be able to ask for money back.
Well-
At 125K plus the engineering costs, that's a pretty steep bill for a road we don't have to use. I think I made that.
Oh,
before.
We have to use
Yeah.
that road.
Close it when it's bad. People that live on hills gotta get down to the bottom, but there's another way out for them. But okay, I'm okay with it, but I don't wanna do this
No.
again. If that's it, if Burns says whatever they come up with now, then we don't have to have a second phase, because that was what we originally
Yep.
agreed to, right? We thought we'd be budgeting something for next.
For another one.
So, okay, I'm okay with it.
So that's a good point there, Councilor Maxwell. So they accelerated their study while, because they have to send us the vac truck out there.
Yeah.
While they were out there, it's my understanding that they found things, and I think between our public works supervisor, the manager from Tri-Wave, and Burns Mandel, they got together and say, hey, we can do this once. We discussed that.
Okay.
Burns has been paid. Now, we're not gonna get final drawings. It's gonna take a while. They've got the design. So Tri-Wave, I think, will have the marching orders from Shane, but we're probably not gonna see the complete final paperwork for some time, like the drawings,
The
I
work will
think.
be done.
What's that?
But the work.
Oh, the work will be done, yeah. If everybody remembers, we've had 2 delegations.
Yeah.
There's some other people that are texting, when's it gonna be done? So I told them, we're making a decision tonight, and they'll be relieved that, every couple of weeks I try to go down that road. It's horrible. Yeah, we need to do something. It's,
So you mean to say that there's not going to be a final design?
This is it.
Like, I wasn't at that meeting. I totally missed it.
Yeah.
I had thought that he was making some recommendations to do this current fix, but then there's still going to be something else for the final design.
my understanding is, this is the final design
Interesting.
because of the,
Yeah, see, I wasn't there, so I'm out
we had
on,
that Teams meeting.
Yeah.
So it was a,
and that was everyone's understanding as
That's my
well from the
understanding.
team's
Everybody
meeting?
agrees with that, that
Yeah.
this is the last.
Oh, interesting.
That's like I said, we're spending a lot more than
Yep.
the neighboring municipality is, and that would be job that we're trading, but.
now, that brings up a good point, because it's safety. We can still have that discussion with the neighboring municipality.
I think they should be at least advised.
Oh, absolutely, we will. I'm thinking Shane will probably have to close the road when construction's going on, to move everybody to the north. I don't know how they're gonna do one half of the road. That'll be up to our public works supervisor. But at the end of the day, I mean, we got Silky Way there, we've got Shanks, we've got, TCIP. When that gets developed out, that's gonna be a road. It's gonna get used a lot, so it's kind of nice to get it out of the way, and, because we've heard it from the people. And it was in the secondary plan, when the people came for the public hearing, that and Gray Road are a concern, so we're dealing with it.
So didn't Burns Mandel say it would be much, much higher than this then, when they originally came here? That's why we said, whoa, like, it was,
They estimated that, but I think on their findings out there, that's what Ashley and Dan told us that day, that at the end of the day,
because wasn't it?
that's what they,
Yeah.
Say we've got a deal on it.
But he said
So-
he'll be this quick and this efficient and this cheap every
Yeah.
single time, right?
so the only, so, yeah, that's, call for the question. All in favor? Carried. It would be nice when that work goes, we didn't need to put in a resolution if Public Works can put something together, or the CEO, and hand it to the residents there. If the road is gonna be closed, give them notice. And even the school bus,
I've talked to the public works foreman about that, and he generally does.
how about the school bus?
Yeah,
Like,
he does.
okay, good, I wasn't sure.
That is a bus route?
Okay. Okay, general business. Supplementary taxes. Whereas the Manitoba assessment has delivered the 2024 list of assessments to be added pursuant to sections 306 and 326 of the Municipal Act for addition and reduction to the 2024 tax rolls of the municipality. And whereas we have considered the supplementary taxes to be imposed in respect to each property listed. Therefore, be it resolved that council confirm the mailing of the supplementary tax statements to each property listed. Further resolved that the due date for supplementary taxes be December the 15th, 2024. Can I have a Councillor Brown? Seconder, Councillor Brohan. Any questions? Call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Okay, there's no action on 11.2. 11.3, be it resolved that council members and the ICAO be hereby authorized to attend the AMM convention to be held in Winnipeg on November the 25th to the 27th, 2024. Further resolved that all applicable registration expenses be authorized in accordance with the council remuneration bylaw 1680. Can I have a mover? Councillor Maxwell. Councillor Durhan seconds it. Any questions?
I thought we already did this.
I thought we did too.
Oh, it was on the agenda. Normally we do it in September. Maybe we probably, I'm not saying we didn't do it, but,
Well, we're doing it twice. If
we
we did.
we did the one in the spring.
I don't remember
Anyways,
doing it,
good.
Better
but,
twice than not at all.
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure we do have reservations.
Yeah, for all the hotel.
Yeah.
okay, I'm just,
Okay, fair enough.
okay, any more questions? No, all in favor? Carried. Just a comment, whoever's going, give it to the
Mhm.
administration so they can book, register, and, the
Hotel
book
is already-
hotels, whoever's going. Yeah, when you
So the
confirm.
registration was-
Yeah, I think there's early bird registration, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, be it resolved that the Reeve and the Deputy Reeve be hereby authorized to attend the Western Caucus meeting to be held in Vernon on October the 4th, 2024. Further resolved that all applicable registration expenses be authorized in accordance with the council remuneration bylaw 1680. Can I have a mover? Councillor Rohan, Councillor Maxwell. Any questions? Questions? All in favor? Carried. Okay. We got no resolution for the next letter, 11.5, the minister from Municipal Northern Relations. So, did you guys want, there's a memo here, you want to discuss it? Yeah. Just so council's aware, I will be responding, because I mean, it was addressed to Reeve and council, so I will respond.
We see it.
Okay.
What, any idea what,
Yeah, I need some information from Ollie. Or
From
from the
me?
CEO.
I was going to suggest that we meet with the minister to discuss it with him.
Yeah, but I want to put it on record. I mean, just, there's some things that, they're watching us. I want to make it very clear that I appreciate him watching over us. Yeah, I mean, this is his letter when it comes right from the minister. I mean, I think a lot of complaints have gone to that department. It's my understanding, there's a number of complaints that went to that minister. I don't know what they were, but if complaints went in and we haven't dealt with them internally.
Did they come here as well?
What's that?
Did the complaints come here as well?
Yeah, lots of them. Yeah, they came to us over I don't think this is just a one. And like I say, over the last month, I think if you read the letter, it stretches out.
I was going to contact them because I actually have no idea what they're referring to. So
Very vague.
it was
Yeah, it was
extremely
vague.
vague, and I'm not sure how we would correct something that we don't even know what we're
Well,
correcting.
that's, as the head of municipality, there's some things that with the 3 Zoom meetings and all that,
But
I think
it
some of
is-
the. I
Is
can't
that
help-
what it's in regards to?
I'm not sure. That's what I can say. Some of the things that we were doing we were ready to press ahead in some things that we were advised not to, and we still kept pushing buttons in my opinion. So I want to make it very clear that,
To make it clear that
the Lake Clemente. I'm not sure if he's referring to Lake Clemente. Like, we had 3 meetings from deputy ministers that advised us
I
and
don't think we
informed
should
us.
read anything into that letter because there's nothing specific in it. I don't see anything in there that identifies
Yeah,
any
well-
item in particular, so
No,
until we get clarification, I don't think we should.
well,
well, how are we going to get clarification though? Like, that's what,
Well, I don't have an issue with him responding. We should all know what he said.
well, as the head of the municipality, it was addressed to me, so, and to all of council. So I think we owe them a response letter, or the
Did I
minister.
find it strange it was addressed to you two guys?
And the CAO.
And I forwarded it to you folks.
It was-
But it was said,
Oh, we
mentioned
got it.
council.
Oh, was
Well,
it to
you got
me?
the email.
I sent it to you.
No?
Yeah, I got the email, but it wasn't addressed to me.
Oh, really?
You sent a copy, but we already sealed it, so. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
Reeve and Council.
Reeve and,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
it's
it was
Reeve and
addressed to
Council.
all of Reeve. But in the bottom, carbon copy, the Reeve and the,
Yeah, I don't understand that, why it's addressed to the Reeve and then carbon to the Reeve.
like I say,
There's lots I don't understand about that particular
This is your
letter.
email address in the letter, but I received it in my inbox, the Reeve received it in his inbox, and you received it in your inbox.
Correct. Okay, that must have been the CC then to the emails of you and Reeve.
so, and you got it as well from Intergovernmental Affairs, or?
No, he got it from you?
Yeah, I know, but he says,
I had a copy before that,
did you?
yeah, and I thought, well, my name's not even on it.
I sent it to you within minutes. I don't know, but anyway, yeah.
I just think it's a very odd letter, and I don't think it left me with very many questions.
Yeah.
And I again, it's council's decision. I would ask what they
And-
are,
and
what they're
that's-
referring to. And again, if we want to correct something that we're doing, how do we correct it when
well,
we don't
they
even
asked
know
for
what we're doing?
specifics. Yeah. Yeah. We'll discuss it all.
So the rest of council is just gonna have the reef respond. You don't want to meet with this
Well, we
minister.
can meet, yeah, you can put in a request to meet with.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
asking. Would you like to meet with him to find
Yeah,
out
absolutely.
more specifically what he's referring to?
Yeah.
Sure.
But I've
And
got
we
some
can-
things that he needs to be informed of. That's what, he needs to be aware that we can't hide these things. He
Okay,
needs to
so,
be informed, and then we can further explain it to him when we sit down with him
okay, so you want me to arrange
Yep,
a Zoom
please.
with them?
at the end.
Do we need a resolution for that, or?
I think so, and I would be concerned, when you say you're gonna send us stuff, we should see what you said, right?
Yeah, you will see.
Because you're speaking
Yep.
on behalf of all.
No, I'm
of
gonna
us.
speak on behalf of the Reeve, the chairman, the Reeve.
But
I'm not
You
gonna,
speak as a council, for the council, not for you.
well, I can speak for the council, but I wanna
Okay,
address
so
it.
we should see it then.
Well, you will get a
Yeah.
copy, yeah,
As long as
absolutely.
we see it then.
So you want me to,
Organize a meeting with the Honorable Minister Bushy at the AML.
Oh, at the AMN, meet him there,
well,
Or else he wants to come out, oh, we
Yeah,
can
he-
meet him after.
or?
we would Zoom him because he's really, like, the meetings, to try to get a meeting with the minister at the convention is impossible. So I would ask him, because he sent us this letter, let's ask for a Zoom meeting with him.
If he wants to, oh, that'd be even better.
Yeah.
Then we don't have a timeline then.
Yeah, we'll see when he's available.
You need a motion then?
I'll do one.
Or for the CEO, organize a meeting. Yep, you want a motion?
Yeah.
What's the date on it there?
Date on the letter?
Yeah,
It is, there we go.
thank you.
Do you have a resolution, like, you want a motion?
I do.
Is it
You
here?
should have it there. Mm,
Okay, just give me a second, I'll refresh. There we go. Be it resolved that the CEO arrange a virtual meeting with the Minister Bushy regarding the letter of September the 5th, 2024. I have a motion. Council Maxwell, Council Ross. Any questions? All in favor? Okay. Carried. Okay. Information only is 11.6, 11.7. Be it resolved that council has no concerns with RF Now Incorporated proposed fiber installation Z3-24-16522 at 50015 Road 114W at Southwest 18919W. I'll move.
I'll make that
Councilor
motion.
Ross, second Rohan, Councilor Rohan. Any questions? Call for the question, all in favor? Yeah, carried. Okay. Inquiries. Anybody have inquiries? Nobody, okay. I'm gonna ask, I wanna book, I will be talking to Holly. I wanna book it's 2 years now, or approaching 2 years since we've been elected. I wanna have a public engagement meeting, year end coming. I'm sure people will wanna have questions about our financial statement and our upcoming budget. So I'd like for you, councilors, to give Holly the dates that you can't make it. I know you sent us an email the other day. You've got a meeting in October. So
When were you thinking?
what's that?
When were you thinking?
In October, probably late October. We'll give the farmers an opportunity, and it's gonna be Zoom, just like we did. I think we had at least 2 that I'm aware of. It worked really well. We had good participation, 2 hours from 7 to 9. So if you could provide Holly with dates, let's shoot for the end of October, that you can't make it, and it can't Monday, if she's off Monday, I'll try to book it for or Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. So if you, the quicker we can do it, then we can advertise it. Yeah, that'd be appreciated. And ditch cutting, can we get Public Works to provide administration what area they're ditch cutting and put it on the internet or on Facebook? I've had 3 inquiries today when the second cut is starting. It's my understanding they're, yeah, sorry. Yeah, mowing, ditch mowing. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, so just gives the public an idea of what, where they are.
We already started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be moving on the east side of number 10 highway.
Yeah, just a quick, yeah, I think you'd be appreciated.
Van Valley, I believe, is done.
Yeah.
West of number 10 is done.
I'm just gonna give council a heads up. We're gonna probably get a letter tomorrow, the CEO and myself, from a business in the southwest corner of Brandon, Alternative. They're really concerned about their road, the condition. So they had an idea. I said, send us a letter. We're meeting tomorrow with council. So they're talking. Well, no, it's 34 South. Yeah, they've got an idea. I said, sign your name to it, give us a proposal, and we'll discuss it tomorrow. We can't make the decision tomorrow, but they got a bit concerned about the road conditions. And I realized, especially when we're ditch mowing, then only one grader's going, so that road is in. We'll see what the letter says. He just gave me a heads up just before the meeting here. Yeah, that's all I've got. Another inquiry, the kennel. In the last minutes, we had that dog barking.
No, I haven't done
We
that
haven't
yet.
done anything
No.
yet? Yeah, okay.
No, it's on
I
holidays.
just had an inquiry about that. Yeah, that's all I've got. Anybody else have anything? Okay, we will move on to the next one. In camera. Be it resolved that in accordance with the Municipal Act, Section 1523, council do hereby close the meeting to the public to move in camera at 9:02 PM to discuss personnel, a matter that is preliminary stages in respecting which discussion in public could prejudice the municipality's ability to carry out its activities or negotiations, the conduct of existing and anticipated legal proceedings, the conduct of an investigation under or enforcement of an act or bylaw, the security of documents or premises, or report of the ombudsman received by the head of the council. Be it further resolved that council agree to keep in confidence all matters discussed at the closed session. Can I have a mover to go in camera? Councilor Maxwell, seconded, Councilor Brown. Anybody question? All in favor? Carried. Okay, we'll go in camera. We'll be back in a few minutes.
I'm gonna grab a jacket.
I am gonna,
Looks like you're killing me.
I'm gonna end this. Is that the end button?
And the owl.
Exit?
Yeah, just end the stream.
I can't read those.
Your stream will stop immediately and you will no longer be live, so end.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's 13.
Okay, yeah.